So today is the last day that anybody can play Google Stadia. It's dying. They've killed it. They decided it just wasn't worth the investment. God knows how much money they spent trying to make it work. So we are going to try and find out today why it died. I hold in my hands here an unopened, still sealed Stadia controller with a Chromecast Ultra. Now, I have used Stadia in the past. To point out, I have used Stadia in the past. I have quite enjoyed it. I always thought it was a very good service, but unfortunately, it's dying. And I feel a little bit responsible because even though I've enjoyed it, I can't remember the last time I played it. We're going to be getting this big boy out of the box and hopefully setting it up, seeing what the setup process is like, seeing what the gameplay process is like, and seeing if people are not using it and the ultimate shutdown of the service was justified, or if perhaps we've all been sleeping on Stadia and we should have been more on it. Should we get into it? Let's do it. Now, to be fair to Google, they are providing a driver update for these controllers that allows them to work over Bluetooth and over wired. So although there's probably quite a few of these controllers out there in the wild, they're not going to be completely defunct after Stadia goes offline. Now, these controllers are quite unique because they work over Wi-Fi, obviously Stadia being a cloud gaming service, just to reduce lag a little bit so it doesn't have to go via your PC, your phone, whatever you may be using. So anyway, let's get this bad boy out, shall we? How do we do it? I'm glad that didn't fall out. Didn't quite angle it enough. Now, the Stadia controller was known as being actually really ergonomic. Despite not being crazily shaped to try and be ergonomic, the whole controller does feel quite good, to be fair. I'm hoping it's still got some battery, by the way, as it's been in the box. Generally, you're okay. Power adapter with a Ethernet port on it, so you can actually use this wired, which is quite cool. And of course, the Chromecast Ultra, which I kind of feel bad that this has been in the box, but anyway. We'll cast that to the side. The only thing we really care about is going to be the state of the controller itself. So we're going to go through the setup process, and hopefully it's going to be quite simple. So let's grab out the quick start guide. Ooh. Slide that out. Beautiful. Stadia controller, get started. Okay, little envelope style. It's actually a really nice presentation, to be fair. Into instructions. You can barely see that, but you get the idea. So we've got this page that we're going to use. I think it should be easy. Get the Stadia. Oh no, do I need the Stadia app? Can we not do this from the browser? I'm kind of hoping we can do this from the browser. Let's check. No, I don't think there's a way to set up. We'll kind of go through the features at the moment, but let's get the Stadia app on our phone then. Hold the Stadia button until the controller vibrates and follow the instructions in the app. Okay, so there's just a controller button at the top there, look, which you can just about see. And it gives us like a controller screen where we can connect any controller. You can connect any controller to Stadia as well. It's not just the Stadia controller you need. PC cable, ready to go. There we go, then it vibrated. Okay, so now we've got the light on, the controller. If you can just about see, maybe, in the middle there. Oh, here we go, there you go. The controller's now suddenly appeared, so I just need to turn it off and on again. Starting setup, leveling up, ready to rumble. Is it vibrating? Yes, it is. So I presume there's a button down there. There is, yes. Connect controller to Wi-Fi. It's just defaulted to have my Wi-Fi. It hasn't remembered the password, though. I have to re-enter my Wi-Fi password. Connected to Wi-Fi. This is quite a simple process, to be fair. Updating controller. Thinking white and orange in the middle. But now we've got it working. I think we enter that code. Up, X, X, Y. Just vibrated. And there we go. Stadia controller linked. I have to say, so far, there's absolutely no obstacles to or reasons we've discovered why Stadia may have been shut down, because I did connect this on my Wi-Fi, as simple as that. So now can we use it on... Oh, we can now just use it. Oh, incredible. Again, these devices aren't directly linked. This controller is connected to Wi-Fi only, and my computer is obviously on the internet. And other than that, they're in no way linked, and I can just do what I want. Control my browser here. Magical. You know what? I think... In recording this, I think I'm going to be a little bit sad that Stadia's gone, because I always quite liked it, but I never used it. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why did I never use it? I don't know. By the way, this is just a browser window. I've just got it full screen, look. But I could just do it again, look. I go in a new tab, just go to stadia.google.com. That's it. I'm playing. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of being cloud-based. Is the controller still connected? It looks like it's connected to the controller because I'm in a new session. Up, X, X, Y. Boom. That is so easy. I love it. And now I can just use it to browse. Amazing. I'm going to try and use the controller from here on out. Here we go. In my library. This is what I've got in my library, this is the games that I've bought. Now, I think Tomb Raider was like a $5. Trials Rising was possibly even less than that. F1 2020 got sent by EA. Both Tomb Raider games, I think, came in a pack. And then Worm Game is a brand new game that they've released. So if we just go back there to the home, basically Worm Game is a game that they made. It was the first ever game on Stadia because it's a game that they made to test the service, and now they're releasing it for free so people can play it right at the end of Stadia's life just to kind of play the little internal game they played. It was internal only until this week. Now, it does jump around a little bit with controller. It's not, I feel like Maybe controller plus browser isn't that well optimized, but that's a pretty minor one. Or we can just use the mouse like normal, which is probably more what I'd do anyway. I'll just use the mouse and use the controller only. We can click in, see some... I should open those bigger, but you can see some screenshots. And then you literally just press play. No installing needed, and we should be good to go. So if I press the Stadia button, I get this little overlay. Now, for me, this is the beauty of Stadia, is they built it from the ground up, but I actually believe this was also its downfall. Imagine a console maker trying to just come up with a brand new console now. Not a console maker. Imagine if even if quite a big company came in and tried to make a whole new platform, it's very hard to break through, even if they're as big as Google. So I think people didn't want to buy a game on a platform where they haven't got most of their friends aren't on it. And it's all new, and you know, if you say something like FIFA, you're going to buy it on whatever your preferred platform is in order to be able to play with your mates. You're not going to buy it on Stadia as well. I think that was its key downfall that they were never able to overcome. But the fact it's own platform was the beauty of it. It's cloud gaming. It needs a new platform. And it's all super snappy. Guys, I'm playing in a browser. This is a browser. For me, the thing that blows my mind is the technology. They genuinely have done such a good job, and that's why I am a little bit sad at the closing. But again, I never played it. Should we give this game a go? Let's eat all the fruit. So this is literally just Worms. Now, Worms is actually quite an interesting one. Although it's obviously quite a simplistic game, it is based on input latency. If the worm doesn't respond straight away to what you want it to do, you will miss all the turns. And so far, I'm not missing any of these turns. So actually, I was thinking, oh, this is a bit of a rubbish test that test game that they've made. Actually, though, so far it's not missed a beat. Again, this is hardly showing off the graphics of. See, I missed that, but again, I pressed it early, not late. Hard to show off the graphics of Stadia. Oh god, I wasn't paying attention. But input lag, it wasn't a lot. There was not a lot there. Again, I need to highlight, we're in a browser. That's what's impressive. How was your game session? It was excellent, actually. Stadia, please come back. Don't leave me. So, should we up the ante and go for F1 2020? I have played this game before. When I did play this game before, in fact, I made a video on it, which I think got about 100,000 views. It did really well. I was pleasantly surprised, but there was some perceivable input lag when I last played this game, but that was without a Stadia controller. So let's now play with the Stadia controller and see. So this is the other thing, of course, is you don't share your progress across multiple platforms. Is that another reason Stadia perhaps fell down? Now, for me, that's where the NVIDIA cloud gaming software comes in, because you just log into your Steam account, your existing account. That gives you existing stays, it gives you existing games. You don't have to rebuy games. To me, that's a huge advantage of that. I understand why Stadia made a new platform, and I kind of explained that earlier. But I feel like that is a big obstacle. I will say there is some bitrate. The quality isn't as crisp as playing locally. There's no doubt about that. But was this service ever really aimed at someone playing locally? Yet it doesn't look that crisp. Now, I will say I'm only playing in 1080p. And I've also got it in a 1440p window. I actually tried to sign up to Stadia Pro to get access to 4K resolutions, but it wasn't available because Stadia's been shut down tomorrow. We've got no assists on here, so a bit of lag there, a bit of stuttering there. There's no getting around that. But let's not pretend that other platforms never stutter. But there's no getting around that the quality is lower. So you buy a game for £50, and unless you sign up to Stadia Pro, your quality is lower. Input lag. There is some. I feel like I'm very quickly on the throttle there, but I feel like I'm actually going back on the throttle before it's registering off the throttle. But it is small lag. I mean, look, I'm driving. I'm not very good on a pad, is why I suck. But it's drivable. It works. I would say driving games are probably one of the harshest tests. A lot of that, along with FPSs, because it is all about reactions. And who knows how well this game is optimized for Stadia. It wasn't built for Stadia. It was built for other platforms. They ported it to Stadia, and it's the only game they ever did port to Stadia. Obviously, me not using a pad, normally use a wheel. Oh, there you go. Big stutter there. See, that's not ideal. That was a big old stutter. See, that is pretty disastrous. If you played a racing game, that is pretty bad. I feel like we need to highlight the pros of what I'm doing right now. This is a Google Chrome browser. It's a Google Chrome browser. I've got it in full screen mode for more immersion. There was no install process. There was no download required. Yes, this is using data right now, so I feel like if you game a lot, it would probably use more data over the month just streaming the game to you more than it would just to download the game. But we jumped in straight away. No install required. We just jumped in and we were on F1 2020. I don't care how quick your internet is. Just be able to press play as soon as you set it up. Nothing else can rival that. It is impressive. It is impressive. But let's get back to the nuts and bolts of the concept. I had this game, F1 2020, on Stadia when F1 2020 was the latest F1 game. And I only played it for a video. Well, why did I never play it? Well, for me, I've got a gaming PC. Why would I have more input lag, lower quality, higher cost, higher data usage when I could just play locally? I think that's the key problem with Stadia. I think they should try to compete with offline consoles. To some extent, they can. I mean, it's working. We can play a modern F1 game in a browser with a Wi-Fi connected controller. That is impressive. Now, let's get into other advantages. I can play on my phone. I can't play a gaming PC on my phone. There is some software you can sometimes stream to your phone, but they're not very evolved. I've actually even got a little clip somewhere. One doesn't come in the Stadia box, sadly. They should put one in the Stadia box where you can get a controller. It clips, your phone clips to the controller, and you've got just hold the controller, and your phone is kind of mounted up here. That's obviously cool. I actually own a Nintendo Switch. I also own a Steam Deck. I very rarely use them. Me personally, I'm not a mobile gamer, and I feel like the key there being mobile. You probably go underground. You probably go on flights. You can't use Stadia in those situations. Now, also, the other thing, of course, is you can play just on your TV with just a Chromecast. Now, they did do a very good bundle. I can't remember what the cheapest price they did for these. That's obviously quite cool that you can play it on TV. But again, I feel like if you're an existing gamer who's already got an Xbox, already got a PlayStation, already got a Switch, already got a gaming PC, whatever your poison of choice is, it's a hard sell because you have to switch. A good advantage is the fact that you can allow your friends to join directly. I think they should have maybe gone harder on that sort of technology. But again, was one of the more niche features. They went after the headline games. They went after F1. They went after FIFA. They tried to compete with consoles. I think that's the wrong decision. Anyway, guys, that is Stadia. Stadia is now dead. I'm recording this at 5:30 on the 18th of January, 2023. As of about 7 hours from now, you will never be able to play Stadia again. And honestly, to some extent, you missed out because I think Stadia could have been great. But alas, it is gone. It is dead. These controllers, they are allowing these to be used either wired or via Bluetooth, which I think is a very good corporate responsibility thing of them to do. I really like that they've done that. So good on them for doing that. But yeah, unfortunately, millions and millions of pounds down the drain. Stadia, RIP. It could have been great. It could have been great. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.